And there's Susan Taylor, like, looking up in the beam of light, and he was like, "Babe, open it up and let's see if you're in it." And I was like, "I don't think,"
Yeah.
How cool is that?
and deemed me as a contributor.
In business, I feel like my Sicilian and my Neapolitan, like my Sicilian side is very important. I've had to, and we all have had to go toe to toe with someone.
I kept getting the tough
Yeah, you're getting the
questions.
tough ones,
Good.
Those are some serious questions.
Yeah. I mean, I could
Wow.
I'm getting the tough
Yeah.
questions.
It's me, Tracy, and when I get on the mic, you know we about to have a good time tonight. Real talk, real growth, that's a fact. So go ahead now, sit back and relax. Hanging with us, you'll see that nothing is impossible, because together we become unstoppable. You know that taking action is the objective, so get ready for the Breakthrough Collective.
Pilates wasn't on your radar, even though it was part of your family. Like it didn't happen until you started taking those classes again, or
It didn't happen until I really hated the way I used to sit at my desk at People magazine without shoes on because I didn't know how people wore shoes all day. I was like, how on earth? So I'd be the girl walking around the hallway with no shoes on. And every time I saw the long hallway, because, the Time Warner building is a block long, I would think, I want to do chaîné turns.
Yes.
I want to do cartwheels. Like I couldn't understand. Like the hallway was just like,
It's there waiting for me.
I was like,
It's
I wanted
calling.
to do PK turns down there. And I tried to go to class at like Broadway Dance Center or something, and I couldn't fit it in. And it was like my body was calling to me saying like, you are really unhappy because you're not in your body. You're not feeling your muscles.
Yes.
You're not, feeling your breath, and you're not expanding. And the thing about the Pilates equipment, when I got on it and I pushed into the foot bar, I was like, that is what I need to be doing. Like I could just feel it instantly. So it wasn't on my radar, really. It was like a vague memory. And I felt like when we were in high school, it was kind of boring for high schoolers. We wanted to be jumping, leaping, turning.
Yeah.
And they made us lay down on the floor.
I loved it.
Okay.
I enjoyed the stretch and the openness and the it just felt like a nice centering
It was
moment.
That's what I remembered.
Yeah.
That's what my body remembered. My body remembered the centering, and it
Yeah.
remembered the coordinating right and left halves. I remember using my right leg to do something in that class, and then I went to use the left, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like,
Not
this-
equal. Yeah.
yeah. So the centering part of it was calling to me. I think
I love that hallway was calling your name.
it still happens. If I see a long hallway, I want to cartwheel down it or do
No,
something
right?
else. I do not want to walk down it.
So BodyTonic has been going strong since 1999, right? What's been the biggest key to its staying power?
I think structure.
Yeah.
I mean,
And BodyTonic is her studio.
it's BodyTonic in Parksville, Brooklyn. I think because there's groups of people coming in and out and lots of different people. One of my main goals of the studio was to make it non-gendered. I didn't want it to be just a women's exercise
Right.
program. But I feel like because people know what to expect when they walk in, and how I always say, like, I want a warmly neutral environment. I just want it to be neutral so that it can be welcoming to all people. I don't like, I'm very specific, not specific, but we don't wear a lot of low cut things. It's not a sexualized environment. I want people who are shy about their bodies to feel comfortable
Right.
in the space. But I would say like structure, the staff knowing what's expected of them, clients knowing what's expected of them, knowing when to end and when to begin. And then that way we produce like a service that is reliable. People come to know that they can rely, they're not wondering what's going to happen, when they come in.
Yeah. And I think that in the last like decade or so, people have come to realize how important the wellness is, in doing things like yoga and Pilates. Because I think a lot of people like didn't realize how important the body is, especially.
And I think yoga and Pilates saw a rise because they're structured forms of exercise. Now people are doing all kinds of crazy things with them. And I think they actually become less popular the more you pull them, the less you have the structure. Because people do like to know what's going on in the class.
Right.
They want to know that they know what leg circles are and that they've
Mhm.
performed them
It
over
makes
and
them
over
feel
again, and they're getting better at it.
yeah,
You know,
makes them feel confident.
I would say the other thing about Body Tonic's lasting power is that I feel like my job is really to be part hostess. You were saying about wearing many hats.
Mhm.
So really making people feel comfortable, speaking directly to them and listening to them. Because when people come in, they have a goal. Like they might say, they might just say like, I'm going hiking with my wife in Antarctica in February and my balance has been wonky.
Mm.
Done.
Right.
That's our goal, you know? So I'm very, I guide all of the teachers to make sure that when a client comes in, they ask right away, like, what can't you do that you'd like to be able to do? Or what are you looking forward to getting out of Pilates, and teach to that.
Right. I love that you cater to each person's needs. Charles, I'm going to come back over to you. So, your time spent in the skies as a flight attendant gives you a unique window into how people live and move through space, right? So, how has seeing so many cultures, lifestyles, and environments up close, because you travel a lot, influenced your eye as a designer? And has it shifted the way you create space for your clients? Huh?
It's a good one.
It's a tough question.
Shall I repeat it?
No, I think I've always loved to travel from a
Mhm.
very young age, and I think I've always loved being in places that I wasn't familiar with
Mhm.
places where I didn't know the language, because it just sort of it just instills curiosity.
Yeah.
And I think in designing, that's where, the creativity comes from there of like being curious, starting with the client, starting with this, looking at the space, but then always asking like, what if?
Mhm.
Like, what if we did this? Or what if we did that? I mean, we're looking, it's not just aesthetics. There's something we're trying to solve,
Right.
something that the client wants or how they live or what they need. And it's like, how do we solve that in a creative way, in a stylish way? But I think traveling and being in places that are not familiar,
Mhm.
for me, it just like opens this world of curiosity and
Yeah.
wonder, and it makes everything. It just makes you're coming from a richer experience. I think travel
Mhm.
is so important.
Yeah.
Um, and then also just people interacting with
Yeah.
so many people. It makes me be like, wow, there's so many different people out
So
there.
many. So
So many different types of people, and practicing trying to come from a place of newness
Mm.
or come from a place of like a blank slate
Right.
to try to be in that person's shoes,
World.
that person's world,
Yeah.
that person's
And
experience.
so when you go to this new place, you have an open mind and just
Yes.
because I hate when people say they've gone and they've traveled to a place and they were like, I was in the all inclusive the whole time. It was like, what? You went
No.
all the way to Mexico or Beirut or wherever you went and you stayed. So I think that that's important. And I'm sure, because I don't know, do you go to museums like when you're in these new
You're so
places?
exhausted.
You're just like, whatever.
You go into that hotel room and shut the door, no, and then you
Yeah.
just sleep for 10 hours. No, that's not true. I'm the type, they're different. I usually, I drop my bags and I force myself to go out, even though
Right.
I had just like traveled for 10 hours and worked during that time, didn't get a chance to
Mhm.
sleep. And then there's a time difference. I
Yeah.
usually drop my bag and go.
Right.
I'll rent cars and I'll drive, away from where I'm at, because sometimes you start repeating the same city. But
Yeah.
I love to explore and see. It just keeps your mind going, and you see things like
Mhm.
there's always something new to see, and all of it inspires like everything else you do in life. So
Yeah.
for me, in design, it just brings a much richer experience.
Yes. I love that. So Andrea,
Mhm.
from Essence covers to early morning call times, what's been the most um surreal pinch me moment of your career?
Oh, wow.
Like, was it a celebrity or just an accomplishment?
Man, there there've been a few um along the way. I think well, I'm a sucker for weddings.
Okay.
Like I still get like emotional.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it would cool down. It hasn't. I still get like,
That's a lot of
the
work,
very
though.
first time. Yeah, it is. But it's just, it's just an honor to be able to do it. But actually that Essence cover was a big one
Mm.
because I didn't realize that I mean I kind of had an idea, but I didn't realize they would actually do it so much behind the scenes and
Mhm.
actually bring it
Capture
forward for the
everything.
public to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So
then
tell a little bit about the.
okay, so the Essence um magazine cover shoot that Tracy is referring to was the 55th anniversary issue. And my client was already Susan Taylor, who was
Which is
the
amazing.
editor in chief that laid the brand groundwork down for the magazine. So she brought me in as well as Ashim Bindali, who was a writer for the magazine. But what made it so spectacular was seeing the end result.
Mm.
So I saw video footage on social media and saw myself like my hand here and there, or
Yeah.
like part of my face, and I was like, "Oh, okay, that's nice." Like they had me included.
Yeah.
But there was a day when Eddie and we were coming off of an Amtrak train, and I asked for like a puzzle book or something to calm my nerves. I was like, "Can I get that?" And he's like, "No, forget that. Get that." And I was like, "Oh, Eddie, there's the cover, and there's Susan Taylor like looking up in the beam of light." And he was like, "Babe, open it up and let's see if you're in it." And I was like, "I don't think."
And you. How cool is that?
And deemed me as a contributor. I almost
Listen.
passed out.
I know.
And then
And
on
then.
and then on top of that, they said, "Let's see who's like in the issue behind the scenes." And then it said, and it was like a section, an ode to makeup and hair. And I got the last credit.
Don't
Girl.
blame
The
her.
very last credit. And
Okay.
I was like, this was so much more
Yes.
than I could have ever imagined.
Such a nice surprise.
To be included. Oh my gosh, I was just so it would have to be that. It was spectacular.
I love that. I love that.
What's up?
DeLuca. Pilates for Wimps. Okay, so
Yay!
DeLuca is a published author.
Yes, she is.
And the title is Pilates for Wimps. It's such a great title. Okay, so how did that idea come about, and what's the message behind it?
Okay, so I was hired for a series that was for Wimps. So I can't take credit for Pilates for Wimps.
Okay.
But the byline is total fitness for the partially motivated. So that part I worked on. I got a call from someone who was, doing this series. It was Sterling Publishing.
Mhm.
And wait, what was the second part of your question? You asked how they came about.
How did the idea come about,
Okay.
and what's the message?
What's the
behind
message?
it? Yeah.
Well, when I got asked to do it, I was really happy because I realized that I really, really love working with beginners. And I particularly love working with people who don't.
And you'll love me.
Well, I want to have you over, so we'll
Yes.
definitely have to do that. But I particularly love to work with people who don't see themselves as physical
Mm.
people. Like,
Yeah.
I believe that there's a physicality for everyone, and basically it has to be unearthed,
Yeah.
One of my first clients was actually the deputy commissioner of health for the city of New York. And I remember having her do a Pilates exercise, and she looked at me and she goes, "I was always the last one picked in gym."
Oh.
Aww.
So
was
you're
like-
you're
I was
doing
like-
therapy as
You're a
well.
therapist.
But she felt so like powerful doing this exercise, and she was like 4'11", this petite woman, and we still keep in touch. But I really loved seeing her feel powerful. That was very motivating to me, and I also feel like I always love teaching dance to beginners too, like.
Mhm.
Just having people feel their body and look at themselves as graceful or strong.
Right.
So when I got hired to do the book, I was like, yes, I am really into the concept.
I love that.
Definitely want to break this down for anybody to do at home. And it's funny. People have come up to me and they've said like, I bought your book, whatever. Anyway, or emailed me. and come in and taken lessons because of the book. So
Yeah.
that's been nice. But yeah, anyway,
Do
I
you
was very
think
lucky.
you'll write another one?
I would like to. I was saying how running a business and having employees and
Yeah.
2 kids, and one's in college, the other one's going to college next year. I just feel like writing really takes time.
It does.
Even when I
Yeah.
wrote that book, I booked a trip to Mexico and I spent 2 weeks alone in Mexico, like
Mm.
getting it done.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it's any writer knows it's like you get interrupted and it's like the moment's gone. You know, like
Mhm.
anyway.
I love that. Yeah. We look forward to the second book. Charles. Charles is Italian, if you guys didn't know.
No.
No way. Charles Farruggio. He's giving you his necklace. He tried to battle me. I put on my necklace because he put on his necklace.
His chain.
Yeah.
His
We're
link.
twinning today. Okay, so your Italian heritage and time in Rome connect you deeply to family and tradition. Yes? Beyond design, how has immersing yourself in that culture shaped the way you see yourself, your values, and the legacy you want to carry forward?
I kept getting the tough
Yeah, you're getting
questions.
the tough ones,
Getting-
man.
Good.
These are-
Those are some serious questions.
Yeah. I mean, I can
Wow.
I'm getting the tough
Yeah.
questions here.
No.
No, yeah.
I
well,
mean, being Italian is so much a
Yes.
part of who you are.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel it
Yeah.
too.
and
It's-
look, you're
yeah.
Italian too, so you
Yeah.
can jump in as well.
Yeah.
A big part of me, I mean, there were a few reasons why I started flying again, and one of which was I wanted to practice my language,
Yeah.
and the opportunity came up where Delta was looking to
Yeah.
hire Italian speakers, and so it was enticing because I knew it would sort of it would prioritize me to do flights from New York to Italy, and it'd be an opportunity for me to practice my language. So, so to the question,
The long
that
question.
long question, there was like 5 parts to it. Can you repeat that again?
Yeah. Also, you guys, we said that we were going to make sure that we're on the flight with.
Oh,
Charles.
that's happening.
So
as
we-
soon as possible.
We all said that because
Yeah.
wouldn't it be so funny if like he comes out and he's
Well,
like,
you know, I
and
have-
we're sitting there.
I have to say, I mean, you mentioned where we're always performing, and
Yeah.
you mentioned the hallway.
Yeah.
I swear, that aisle on that plane to me
Is your runway?
It's your runway.
It is my runway. It is the
Yeah.
stage, and
Yeah.
not that I'm doing cartwheels. I'm not doing death moves, but I literally have had passengers and other crew members tell me like, "Wow, like I can't stop watching it," and I'm like, I'm not doing anything.
You're gliding. I know you're gliding.
I know he is.
That aisle is a stage, So yeah, and I have 300 passengers, like watching. So
So when the door closes,
it was
you're
like my first
action.
recital when my ballet teacher said I was going to be the star of the show.
Yes.
So when you come on my flight, I am the star of my show. I am the star of that flight.
Buongiorno.
No, I have a good time. I do have a good time.
Can you speak a little Italian for us right
oh
now?
gosh.
Come on.
What?
Just say, Tracy, you're amazing and I love you. in Italian.
Signore, prendete il poste e fai sicuro la cintura di sicurezza è allacciata. Fasten your seatbelt.
Okay. Oh, I love that.
I love that.
It'll work.
No, it's really funny because it's really when I get like sort of upset with a passenger or whatever, or they like start trying to have like
I'm
it comes
sure.
out in Italian and
Yes.
it's really fun.
Wow.
No, I love Italy.
Yeah.
I love
do too.
Italy and being there. I'm mostly in Rome and Milan and Venice, and it's funny because the Italians, no matter what, like you go on the street, I don't know, everyone is. It appears like everyone's beautiful,
Yeah.
but you know what it is? It's presence. It goes back to that.
Yeah.
It's like how you carry. They're so.
Yes.
I think the Italians are so conscious
Mm.
of presentation, how you present yourself, how they walk down the street.
Yes.
And again, like no matter who someone is, they just take pride in how they look and how they present themselves.
Mhm. Yeah.
And so I love that. It's such a great reminder.
Yeah. I've
when I'm
been to
there.
Italy several times. I haven't been to Rome, but it's probably one of my favorite places. Yeah, for
It's
sure.
wonderful. The
It's
food, the
I want to
people,
add
yeah.
to the Italian thing though,
Do
because I feel
it.
like, well, I feel like first of all, in Italy, Italians from different areas of Italy think the other people aren't Italian. They're like, right, like
You're
the
talking to a
Milanese.
Sicilian. You're
Yeah,
talking
right.
to a
Well, this is
Sicilian.
what I wanted to say. This is what I want to say. So I've been reading this book on Sicily and Naples, and they describe the two locations and their differences. And the thing
Mhm.
about Sicilians is that they have a lot going on the inside a lot of the time,
Yeah.
but they know when to reveal it and when to keep their mouth shut. They know what to prioritize as private.
Right.
And the Napolitan are more like hanging out all day in the square and eating at all hours of the night. There's always
Right.
people on the street, but the Sicilians might have their doors
curtain
closed a
closed.
little earlier. But I think
Yeah.
that really in business, I feel like my Sicilian and my Napolitan, like my Sicilian side is very important. I've had to,
Mhm.
and we all have had to go toe to toe with someone
Right.
who was trying to rip us off
Right.
or was
Yeah.
out of line.
Right.
Mhm.
And that Sicilian has to come out.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
You keep
Especially
it, you
when
keep
you're
it inside.
5'3",
Yeah.
and you're female, it's
Yes.
like people
Yeah.
have to get a little intimidated,
Mhm.
Yeah.
you know, by you.
Yes.
But the Napolitan is more of the like, come in, come share,
Yeah.
come
Very
eat.
open
Are you
and warm and
hungry?
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
It's funny because
interesting.
when I'm specifically, it happens mostly on my flights to Milan. If I'm tired or drunk, but that happens when I'm working. But if I'm tired, my Sicilian will slip out.
Mhm.
Both because it is another
dialect.
language.
Yeah, yeah.
Either some Sicilian words will slip out or the accent itself. And I literally have had passengers come to me like mid-flight and say, "Are you the one making the announcements?" I said, "Yeah, why?" It's like, "Are you Sicilian?" So like
No.
it slips out. I
Yeah.
try to be
Mhm.
conscious of it, but yeah, there's a difference. There's a difference
Yeah.
depending on where you're from in Italy.
Yeah.
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 Similar to you, I grew up in the South Bronx. Shout out to Patterson Projects, 144th Street and 3rd Avenue. But I spent every summer in Talladega, Alabama, which is like the smallest town ever. No one ever knows of it unless you watched Will Ferrell's Talladega Nights. Yeah. So it's two different, like yours, like two different locales. Andrea,
Yes.
what is one challenge in running a business for nearly 30 years, right? That no one talks about?
Ugh.
You could say more than one
Well,
if there's more than one.
there are a few, you know, things. But I think
It's not
one
easy, right?
hell no. But I think one that comes to mind that I still struggle with is I really care. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't care, but I
Yeah.
think you have to have very healthy boundaries.
Yes.
And I think one that I have always struggled with is I care very much for my team and the clients.
Mm-hmm.
So much so that it can be very difficult for me to distance.
Mm-hmm. Just separated. Right.
Yes,
Mhm.
where it'll like keep me up at night, where I'm thinking like,
What could you have done differently or like
or
in preparation?
both. So it's because like I said, it's like preparing for a performance. So like it's really mental anguish and anxiety
Mm-hmm.
is what it is. Therapy taught me that it's anxiety
Yeah.
that I was always dealing with. Is just that I think too much. And also because it is a business of service.
Right.
So when you're serving, you're
Mhm.
giving you're
Give 'em-
giving a lot. And
Yeah.
I have it a bit more in terms of boundaries, but it's still not laid down in the
Mhm.
sand the way it should be. So
Right.
that's still like a struggle. And also when you're dealing with putting a price tag on a service,
Mm.
I always felt that I never charged all the way where it could have been
Right. Right.
for what we provide.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what it is because I always pray about it, but I just feel like I don't know. It's just it was always like a struggle to do
Mm-hmm.
that. I
Mm-hmm.
know there are artists within the industry that triple up on prices, and I get
Mm-hmm.
it. I understand that,
Yeah.
but I always felt that Fairweather Faces was never just a celebrity based business. It was
Mm-hmm.
for everyone if you
Yes.
could afford to get it. And even if you are an everyday person that's not a celebrity, we still will give you the celebrity experience. Like we never
Mm-hmm.
changed
Yes.
our procedures or practices no matter who the person
Right.
was.
Right.
So I'm happy about that, but I really do struggle and still do now with, and Jen, I wonder if you do as well, with just, is deemed as anxiety for me, but just the thinking.
Mm-hmm.
There has to be a time where my mind can be quiet, and I have it in spurts, but it's not enough.
Right.
Mhm.
It's
Right.
not enough for it to be healthy,
I think something you said that really also struck a chord for me, sort of the boundaries, and it's tricky because
Mm-hmm.
in the business of service,
Yeah.
it's part of the success with what I do. I mean, I started out with hotels and restaurants, but then I've since transitioned doing residential,
Mm-hmm.
and so much of the service is so personal. I mean,
Mm.
you are in these people's lives,
Mm.
and so part of the success is being so open and really caring, truly
Mhm.
caring for
Mm-hmm.
every decision that's made and caring how things turn out, and at the same time, finding the limit or the boundary to
Mm-hmm.
keep it in that business relationship. It's
Yeah.
this tricky balance,
Mm-hmm.
and it's hard, because again, what part of the success is caring so much and being so personal about it, but
Yeah.
then
Mm-hmm.
making sure you keep that business boundary.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's a
Yeah.
tricky
it
balance.
is
Yeah,
tricky.
It's not an
it's
easy
a
task.
challenge.
Well, you did make me feel like a queen today, and I give you permission to give yourself a raise.
Oh, thank you. I'll take
Always,
it.
you
Deserve
always.
it.
Not with me, but I
Uh,
so, DeLuca,
yeah.
what's one transformation story from a client
Mhm.
that reminds you of why you do what you do?
Oh my gosh, I could think of my first one and my most recent one.
Okay,
And
go for
those two are on my mind. So the first client I had was a writer,
Mhm.
and she grew an inch and a quarter
Mm.
after doing Pilates. She grew an inch and a quarter. She had scoliosis. She had some spine stuff going on, but that I was like, okay,
That's amazing.
Yeah.
this is not a medicine show. Like
Right.
this is actually it works, And then cut to now, and that was back when I took people in my apartment.
Mm.
So going back to like 1997, cut to now where one of my most recent clients came in. He's in his 70s. He plays golf.
Mhm.
But he is going hiking with his wife in
To
Antarctica or
Antarctica.
whatever. This is the person I referenced before. And his balance was not very good. And there's just like a lot of stuff going on where this man is like athletic and he's
Mhm.
strong in a lot of ways. But in some of the real intrinsic ways in terms of like stability and long-term spinal health, and also like how your organs perform when you breathe, and the way his ankle works when he walks. Those are all suspect. Like they're things we have to really work on. And it's just amazing that the work that I do is so highly adaptable that I could adapt it to this man.
Mm.
And within, I don't know, something like 3 weeks, he had trouble balancing on one foot. And then the last time I saw him, we were playing catch on one foot. So yeah, just through doing Pilates exercises that were tailored to him, to his feet, to his core,
Right.
to his getting his breath a little bit more regulated with his abdominal muscles, and he's kind of a reverse breather. There are all these sort of detailed things. As we get more in tune with our work, we land on the trouble spots, whether it's makeup or design or a body. You land, that's what experience is, right?
Right.
You're like, I know exactly what to do with this person. And the minimalism,
Mhm.
it's not fancy. I'm not doing
Right.
fancy things with him. It's just
Right.
really minimal pedestrian activities that are demonstrated in the Pilates technique. So it's just very reassuring that like I chose a career that really, excites me and that
Mm.
transforms people's lives. He feels
Yeah.
amazing. It's great to see that when he leaves and he says goodbye, that he's like, he knows, he's like, oh my God, I did that today and I couldn't do that last time.
So he learned about his own body. So basically, you're changing lives.
All the time,
I love it.
every day.
Every single day. All of you have run your businesses for over 2 decades. What's the common thread between longevity in dance and longevity in entrepreneurship?
I could say something about I think the energetic how you have to expend your energy,
Mhm.
knowing the right amount of energy to expend for the job, whether it's a boundary, mental energy, or physical energy, because we're getting older.
Mm.
And
I'm
that
not.
doesn't necessarily mean that things are getting easier.
Yeah.
And I really think that just like in dance, when you learn exactly how much energy you need to get through the piece,
Mhm.
Mm.
that you're not giving too much of your energy right
Mhm.
out of the gate, because you have
Mhm.
to last the whole
You gotta
performance,
pace
or
yourself.
like 20 performances.
Mhm.
So I think definitely knowing how to manage my energy, kids in the picture, sometimes you're
Right.
sick, you're injured, you're whatever, you have stuff going on at home. Knowing how to manage your energy, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
What comes to mind for me is I think being the ability to the being able to change, being able to adjust and make changes,
Mm,
whether it's
pivoting, yeah, for
pivoting,
sure.
Mhm.
the circumstances or aging or
Yeah.
The
different
economy,
clients or
yeah,
the
Mhm.
economy or,
yeah.
COVID
COVID,
happened. I
yeah, yeah,
remember
like,
when that happened and suddenly it's like, how do I do my business, remotely?
yeah,
And,
Right.
I was fortunate. My clients were really pushing. They were supportive in that way. Like, let's do this by phone. Let's do this,
Mm.
mail me this. And, or going from, working on hotels and restaurants. And then in 2009, the recession, and suddenly it's like, so many designers were collecting unemployment
Mm.
or they were gone to waiting tables. And I thought, how do I transform to keep doing design? And so from hotels and restaurants, I shifted to doing residential work. And so I
Nice.
think and even with dance, like
Mhm.
as you get older in your dance
You
career,
have to
or depending on
adapt.
what
Mhm.
choreographers you're working with or different venues,
Mhm.
being able to adapt, being able
Mhm.
to pivot, be able to transform yourself into the next thing is what I think gives you the longevity uh, with whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mine is pretty much a combination of the two of you. What was coming to me was consistency.
Mm,
Consistency of the routine, because that's what clients want.
Mm.
They
mm,
want to know when they come to you, they can rely on you that they're going to get whatever the
You
service or the
promised.
product
Yeah.
is, right? So it has to stay consistent. But then also, for a business and a business owner, I think you have to really be open to creative pivots,
Mm.
just in case something happens,
Yeah.
like you said. For COVID, that was a whopper.
Mm.
yeah,
Like, I
Yeah.
mean, God, that was like a
everyone
punch
was,
in the face.
Right.
And for us, at Fairweather Faces, it was because we could now no longer at that moment go to them physically in that way to
Mhm.
provide services. Had to really take a second to think, well, what the heck? Like, how are we going to do this? And we actually went to the Zoom platform, and I said, just let's
Yeah.
just try something where we're going to go online and do these makeup lessons, and I'm going to guide them now to be able to do for themselves what we would do.
Yeah.
So we were just trying all kind of things until it started to turn. But even then, it stayed because some
Mhm.
of them were really good.
Yeah.
Like, they really enjoyed, because not everyone wants you to come into their home if they feel well,
Yeah.
first of all, we never judge, but
mhm.
a person, depending on how they
Yeah.
feel about their
Sharing
space,
their space. Yeah.
right, may not feel confident enough
Mhm.
to have us in their space.
Mhm.
And if that's the case, then they have the control by doing it on a Zoom
Mhm.
platform, some online platform. So there are ways, there's
Right.
still
Right.
ways, but yeah, that's what I would say.
You figured it out and made it work.
Mm.
We all know the grind.
Hmm.
How do you each keep the passion alive
Mm,
after so many years?
mhm.
I say the baseline for that is you have to fundamentally love it so much that
Mm.
I hate when they say, "Do it for free. Just do it for free." Okay, yeah, but that is to a point
Yeah.
too. I think, yes, some things you can,
Mm-hmm.
not all things, because it is a business, so you have to be realistic. But I think underneath it all, it really has to be a passion, something that you
Right.
just really, really love to do. And not that you love it so much that you'll burn yourself out to prove
Mm-hmm.
it, but that you find joy in it still.
Yeah.
And I think that's always the key, that there's some joy. And for me, it has to be of service. Like, I get excited when I hand the mirror over and I
And
see that they're like,
smile on their
"Oh,
face.
Yeah.
right." Then I know, oh, I did it. I
You
did my
did it.
job. And
Yes.
that makes me feel
So if they were like,
joy.
"Oh, thank you,"
Yeah, right. Oh, girl. Throwing shade. But yeah, no. So that's it.
yeah, they get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think at the end of the day, it's seeing the difference it makes in
Mm-hmm.
people's lives.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you know, 25 years later doing design, and I sometimes question, I go like, oh, it seems like such a frivolous thing, or like, but I do hear from my clients, and I see the difference it makes. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is silly, but I had a client where we did this sort of really bold wallpaper in the dining room, and the kid, the son, who was like 7 at the time, it
Mm-hmm.
was the first time the paper got installed, and it was a really dramatic dining room actually. And the kid came in and saw it for the first time. He said, "Mom, this wallpaper is fabulous."
Wow.
That is so-
Wow.
That
I
had
thought,
to
well,
make
like,
you feel so good.
like, wow,
Come
this
on.
kid, like, like he was excited,
You
like
were
this little
"It's
kid.
me."
Right?
I did that.
Little me. No, like you're seeing yourself,
But
as a kid. That's so
yeah,
cute. Yeah.
but even the clients, it's really wonderful to hear after a project. I've saved voicemails
Oh,
Yeah.
from clients
so
after the fact
Okay.
when they say like, wow, what an incredible, I feel so good in my home, or I'm
Yeah.
so excited I'm having people over, or
Yeah.
their lives are different,
right.
and to
Yeah.
see that impact keeps me going.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
Must-
making a difference in people's lives.
Yeah, it must make you feel so proud.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, looking back on your careers.
Wait, I didn't get to answer that
Oh,
question.
oh,
Okay.
so, I
I
thought,
was
you,
thinking
sorry, I
about
thought
it.
you were first. I'm sorry.
No, Andrew was first.
My
I was
bad.
thinking about it. No, because I was
My
really,
bad.
really thinking about it. It was a good question.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
And I think we all help our clients, and that's definitely part of it for me. But I was really thinking about this because it is such a giving what we do,
Mhm.
and the output is a lot. And I was thinking it's finding the input. So like it could be that they're so happy, that's input from me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But what else am I getting from
Mhm.
the giving? Because I give for 5 hours straight and then I go home and I can't, I just want to turn on the
Can't
TV,
function.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think for me, the input is the learning. Like if I am learning more about how, the organs are massaged when we do this particular exercise, or like how to handle a sacroiliac separation,
Mhm.
I think I need to continuously find the input in my work
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
keep it fresh.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, sorry.
Because
No, that's
passion,
a good one.
like what you
That's
said,
a
like,
good one.
yeah, we should be doing what we love. We should be doing what we love. But
Yes.
sometimes you fall out of love, or you stop
Yeah.
loving, or the passion disappears, and then it really, I think it's your choice. You have to take the
Yeah.
initiative to look for what is the new thing in this that's going to excite me.
Yeah.
Or
And I guess the same could be said for anything that we do, whether it's because what you just described could be a relationship,
Yes.
like
Oh, yeah.
your lover or whatever. Like
Mhm.
you have to keep it fresh and keep
Mhm.
everything new. So yeah. Why you're laughing? Okay, so looking back on your careers, what was the moment when everything just clicked, or the aha moment, the insight, or that leap that changed everything and made you feel like this is where I'm supposed to be, this is meant to be?
Mhm.
Can I jump in?
Dive in.
Yeah. It's funny, sort of midway. So I've been doing design for about 25 years now, and I don't know, maybe midway at some point, I've lost track of what years were what, but
Mm-hmm.
I started teaching. I was teaching at the New York School of Interior Design, and actually similar to marathon training or seeing people. For me, I remember having students the start of a semester, and students would come in who did not know how to draw, and I would teach them. We'd start from the basics: how to draft, how to draw, and or how to design, how to do a hotel project. And by the end of the semester, they're doing these projects, and I'm like, I was blown away. Like, wow, like they came in not knowing, and then you teach them, and then at the end they're like producing and they're drawing and they're doing these incredible projects. And for me, that was an aha moment of like, oh my God, like, wow, I know what I'm doing. That like I can pass on, because I think on some level you're always questioning, like, like fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
how am I doing this?
Yeah.
And you don't stop to think like, yeah, it's been 25 years of experience of doing this.
Yeah.
But teaching, for me, seeing it passed on to someone and someone learning, to me, it was huge. It was a big aha moment for me. Like, wow.
So
Like,
seeing that process makes you proud.
yeah, yeah. To see the learning process, to see
Yeah.
someone learn and become skillful at something. It's
Off of
just
what you
like,
taught them.
to me,
Yeah.
like, it really blows me away, inspires me, really.
I love
Oh my
that.
gosh. Can I pick up on that?
Mm.
That's exactly how I feel. Whenever I'm able to teach someone, and then I think the same thing, like, wow, like you don't sit and go, I've been doing this for so
You
long.
don't think
Mhm.
about
It's
it.
because it's
Yeah.
second nature now. It really
Yeah.
is. But when it does happen, I'm like, wow, I'm right in alignment, because everything just kind of fuses together, the talent, the training, and then being able to actually teach it and then seeing the end result of it. I feel like I'm right in alignment with my purpose,
Yes.
which is what, everyone wants, which then brings me to
Oh.
this.
Bam!
She's so fierce.
Is this for
with
me?
her timing.
Is this for
It's
me?
for one of it will be for one of your viewers.
I have to share. Okay.
Right. So whoever logs in first will be able to
Yes.
get it. But what this is for me, it represents I'll get you it, Jen.
She was like, "Wait
So
a minute."
Fairweather Faces has a sister product, right? I had clients for many decades ask me, how can I have you travel with me and show me how to do my makeup? And so finally came, and
Yeah.
I ended up becoming a patented inventor off of this product.
Okay.
It's a patented color-coded system. It's pretty much like a paint by numbers for the face, which simplifies the makeup application process. It's simply following the face chart. It's a travel size face chart and travel size makeup brushes that are color coded, and it's just matching them.
That's
And
genius.
we have
Yes.
you.
That
and we
is
have-
genius.
Thank you. And we have a plethora of face charts to choose from. So you just choose the chart that you
And
want.
the charts are in here.
One chart, the original face chart is in
Okay.
there. The additional charts are
But-
sold separately.
So you mentioned the color coded,
Mhm.
but you ain't talking about the rhinestones because you giving me rhinestones.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's so funny.
There's
So yeah, so the
rhinestones.
rhinestones, right? That's the humdinger of it. Is the rhinestones are color coded, so you can match them to the. It's like following a recipe chart,
Yeah, I
but
love
for
that.
the face. And so hopefully one of your viewers will get it. But
So
that's my thing
we'll
too.
do-
Charles is
We'll
teaching.
do a little contest.
Yeah.
We'll put like whoever leaves a comment, we'll put their names in a hat, and
Like
you
a
can
drawing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
drawing.
Okay, yeah,
drawing.
And
great.
then we'll have Andrea draw.
Yay.
Thank
got
you.
it.
It's so cute.
I think makeup is really overwhelming.
Yeah,
I do. I
it is
think
a lot.
most women feel overwhelmed, like if they walk into a Sephora or something. It's just
Oh, yes.
knowing
Yeah.
what to buy. That would be amazing.
It's a,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's a skill. I don't-
What was the question again? We
Okay,
got so
wait.
into this.
Okay, so I said, looking back over your
Oh,
career,
the aha moment.
the insight or a leap that has changed everything and gave you, I guess, confirmation to to let
Yeah.
you know that you're exactly where you're supposed to be.
Yeah, I think at some point somebody strolled through the life of the studio who was like, who's sort of like a business advisor to major companies like Mercedes-Benz and Microsoft and blah blah
Mhm.
blah. But he came in and tried a Pilates lesson, and he was just like, "What is this?" It was. He said, I sat in my car, and for the first time, I put my head back, and I was like, "Oh my God, there's something back there," because I was sitting
Mm.
up straight. He
Right.
just called it a miracle cure, and he then asked me to do some exercises like about like my history or whatever. Anyway,
Mhm.
but I looked back and I was like, oh, I've always done something with community, the body, and like making people and transformation. I
Right.
really like
Right.
these things. So once I and that was maybe a decade ago. So, that was just really reassuring. But I think there've been many times either like I worked with a soccer team, I worked with the soccer coaches. It's always like sort of like unlikely candidates
Mhm.
that I work with, and
Excuse me.
they just see the magic in what it is that I'm doing, and I'm happy. I go to work happy.
Yes.
Right.
When I'm at the studio, I feel like I'm 100% myself.
Yes.
Also, I think, like you guys were saying about educating people, like when people come to me and ask, like, will you teach me how to do this?
Mm.
I'm like, I must be doing something
Something
right.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And nothing beats getting paid to do something that you love.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Yeah, it's the
Like
best.
that's when you know you're really
Absolutely.
lucky. Yeah. So you guys know that we end each episode with a quote. Can each of you share one that has carried you through your career? Um, who wants to go first?
I have so many, but I'm going to pick one from my dad. He said, follow
Okay.
your heart and you will be successful.
Amen.
There we go. Follow your heart and you will be successful.
I have the mantra for Fairweather Faces.
Okay.
It's in beauty and peace
Mm.
because
Okay.
that's how we serve, in beauty and peace.
Yes.
Mm.
Right.
Mm.
So everything is calm.
It needs to be.
Yeah.
It should be.
In beauty and peace.
Hmm
Got it. Sir Charles.
Gosh, I'm tossed between two.
Okay. You can share both if you would like. It's up to you.
In Italian.
Yeah.
Oh, right?
No pressure.
Well,
No pressure.
I'll start with, one of them is I was about maybe 17 years old. I was at the
Mhm.
School of American Ballet, and it came to a point where I was sort of determining like what my next step was going to be with something. And so I
Mhm.
went to the executive director of the school, it's this small old Russian woman, and I told her my situation, and I said, I just want you to be like, if I do this, will it guarantee me to get, this?
Well, you want to guarantees.
And she said to me, my dear Charles,
Oh, that is good.
Good one.
my dear Charles, there are no guarantees in life. And you know what? To this day, I really, and what I got from that was,
Yeah.
yeah, there are no guarantees in life, and basically to take risks.
Mm.
And it's so easy for people to go, "Oh, you're so lucky, your life, your life," and it's like, yeah, there's a lot of things that you don't see that didn't
Right.
happen. You're seeing and hearing about the success things,
Mhm.
but there are risks, and yeah, sometimes it happens and sometimes it doesn't, and you keep
Mhm.
going. And just because there's no guarantee
Right.
doesn't mean you don't take the step. So you still, go for it. You still, take
Dive
risks.
in. Yeah.
Dive in and you
give
just do it. Yeah.
110%.
But I do have to give some credit to my mom. I want to like quote her, and I think she said to me, this was another sort of pivotal point in my life. I was getting ready to move to Los Angeles for a big opportunity. And she said, the quote is, um, actually my dad and my husband and my dad were sitting in the front seat of the car, and I was in the back seat with my mom, and they were driving me to the airport. I was going to LA,
Mhm.
and it was really quiet, and my mom suddenly just came out and she said, I just want to let you know, I wish you all the luck, with everything you do, but if it doesn't work out, I just want you to know there'll always be pasta in the pot for you.
Oh.
There'll always be pasta in the pot. And for
Pasta in the
me,
pot.
I just feel like, it gave me the confidence to go out there and do whatever it is. And
Yes.
I think that's with anyone, like with
Yeah.
like to know to have the confidence to go out and
Yes.
and again, it's similar like taking risks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go out
Yeah.
there and do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go out there and do it.
But I also have to say, it's, and I mentioned this in my first episode, that having that one person, whether it's your mom, your dad, or someone that it has your back and gives you that true support, gives you that extra confidence that
Yeah.
you know that you can push through and do absolutely anything. You
Mhm.
know, that's it, you guys. Thank you so
Aw.
Oh,
much
this was awesome,
much fun to be
Tracy.
here.
I mean, if
So
there's anything else you
fun.
got that I didn't ask that you'd like to share, let me know. But otherwise, thank you so much for being here,
Thank you
and
for
thank
having
you
us.
guys, and keep breaking through because we are just getting started. Ayo.